the IDF killed several gunmen because they are continuing to fight in Rafah. Close quarter combat in eastern Rafah. They're finding tunnel shafts, blowing them up, killing terrorists. Meanwhile, the Iron Dome has been relocated. It got 2 rockets launched from Rafah at the border crossing where the aid is coming in that Joe Biden complained they needed more aid. Washington Post, Biden's threat to halt U.S. weapons to Israel draws immediate GOP blowback. Not just the GOP, but let's start there. Representative Mike Rogers, chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, Representative Michael McCall, who chairs the House Foreign Affairs Committee, issued a statement saying they were, quote, appalled that the administration paused crucial arms shipments to Israel. This disastrous policy decision was undertaken in secret, deliberately hidden from the Congress and the American people, at a time when Israel continues to negotiate in good faith to secure the release of hostages, including American citizens. The administration's short-sighted strategic errors called into question his unshakable commitment. Remember the ironclad commitment? And then also from the Post, Washington Post, Israel defiant after U.S. warns it will halt arms shipments. Of course it is. They are not going to be dictated to. The craziness is the avalanche had grown so large and the heat so intense that they threw Admiral Kirby to the wolves on Air Force One. We think it's on Air Force One. There's no tape of this. There are many transcripts of it, so it's a pen and pad somewhere. He was asked, the argument was made, I think by Kirby, it might have been made by Karine Jean-Pierre, that Joe Biden's cutoff of arms to Israel weakened Hamas's negotiating position. And John Kirby said, that's our view. Okay. If I'm Hamas's leader, Sinwar, I'm sitting down in my tunnel and I'm seeing innocent people falling victim to major significant combat operations in Rafah, then I have less of an incentive to want to come to the negotiating table. Do you understand that? Nobody, that's John Kirby, who's an admiral, he's a smart guy. They put him up whenever they can't have Karine Jean-Pierre handle something, saying, no, you got to understand, a Rafah offensive, that would strengthen Hamas's hand at the negotiation table. Why are they doing this? Well, the Gaza talks have faltered, according to the New York Times, and the State Department said Israel hasn't violated international law. Thanks for that. And the student protests haven't been quelled. They're getting bigger. At Harvard, Penn, and MIT, this was predicted on yesterday's commentary pod. That which gets rewarded gets repeated. Why did the president do it? Christine Rosen of the AAI made a fine and salient point yesterday. Joe Biden has irritable vanity. And he just gets so upset when people think he's made a bad, and he doubles down. Inevitably, first rule of holes doesn't mean anything to Joe Biden. He says really dumb things. And, of course, Republicans are hammering him. Here is Senator Cotton yesterday, cut number 2.
Now, some people say Joe Biden is doing this for his reelection, which would be bad enough. It would also, I have to add, be grounds for impeachment under the Democrats' Trump-Ukraine standard, withholding foreign aid to help one's reelection. Only with Joe Biden, it's true. But I'm afraid it's also worse than that. Joe Biden and Israel-hating Democrats are using electoral concerns as a pretext to do what they've always wanted to do.
Well said, Senator Cotton. Here is Joni Ernst, cut number 4, the senator from Iowa, on the same subject.
The president is a tool, folks. He is a tool. Okay, in this case, he's a propaganda tool. But Hamas is using him, and he is allowing it, and he is turning his back on Israel. So our message today should be to remember, Mr. President, Hamas created the humanitarian disaster in Gaza. Hamas knew exactly what would happen when they attacked on October 7th. They knew that Israel would respond and that they would strive for victory and the destruction of Hamas.
Good for Joni Ernst. Doug Burgum on Fox News, the governor of North Dakota, on many short lists for vice president, cut number 16.
Well, I think it's truly unbelievable. We're in completely new territory here for a president of the United States. because we've always had a rule, which is don't negotiate with terrorists. But Joe Biden has gone way beyond that. He's actually negotiating for the terrorists. He's put a red line for Israel, for our ally. And when you think about that, think of every one of our allies around the world watching this and going, wow, Israel is supposed to be America's top ally, and the president is threatening them. How about Joe Biden saying, we're going to keep providing weapons until you release the hostages, Hamas? He should be negotiating alongside of Israel. He's on the opposite side of the table. And I can tell you that if President Trump was in office right now, this would not be happening, because this is Joe Biden's weakness on display, like it was with Afghanistan, like it's been around the world. It's just he continues to lead with weakness, and he's doing it for one reason. He's doing it because he's trying to get votes in November from the pro-Hamas part of the Democrat Party.